Curse.
It's the Death Curse Club. I am Zach. That is Jim.
Gobble gobble.
Nice. He does that because it is Thanksgiving season. We are amongst to be thankful for what we've gotten, and we've gotten a lot. This is a test. Here on the Death Curse Club, we're trying podcast form stuff. I'm tired of just sitting here talking news and it's just simple conversations. I want to have conversations. Jim is a bright fellow that me and him can talk all the time about horror, and I said, why don't we just do it here on the channel? Let's just have convos on a podcast, and that's what we're doing. And you can check out this podcast either on YouTube, where you can like, subscribe, and comment, or go ahead and follow us on Spotify, Amazon, or any other podcast feeds of your choosing. I think Spotify, you can watch the video and comment. That's things that they're doing there that you could try out. Before we get into said conversation, I do want to do this plug. Gruesome Brew Coffee. Discount code DeathCurse10. You get 10% off your order, and they just dropped their winter line, which has a Krampus coffee. It has the last dead slice of pumpkin coffee and other spooky versions out there. I say try them out. I got my order recently, which has Night of the Living Gourd, and Night of the Living Gourd, and no, not Night of the Living Gourd, the Gourd Father. That's what I got. Gourd Father, delicious. And then this Black Widow one, I shit you not, it has a delicious kind of raspberry fruit taste to it. And when I added this pecan creamer to it, ultimate. It was done, dog. It was a done day. And the cool thing that they do, you can do sample sizes on majority of their stuff. Like they have, I think they're like $2. And like if you use the K-Cups or whatever, you get like 4 coffees out of them for $2. It's not a bad deal. So check them out. Use our code. Good times had by all. So the subject matter of today, what are we thankful for in horror in 2025? We're wrapping up the year. I was looking at some stuff, Jim, and it really is getting down to the end bits of horror. I know that, is it Sisu? Is that the movie?
Sisu. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sisu comes out next week.
Sisu, The Revenge, or whatever part 2 it's called. We got Five Nights at Freddy's 2 coming out, and it's really, that's the end of horror that I know of. Last year, we had Nosferatu coming in at Christmas, but that seems like the end. So what I wanted to talk about here is, what are we thankful for? And I guess since it is my idea, I'll go first with my... you know what? I'm going to do an honorable mention, if you don't mind. I know I said
Go for it.
3, but I want to do this just because technically it's a 2026 thing. I want to give an honorable mention of what I'm thankful for. Horror franchises in video game trailers. And what I'm saying is, the trailer for Hellraiser, the video game, and the 2 trailers that we got for Halloween, the game, are bangers. I mean, quite possibly going into 2026, when that episode we do, it might be my most anticipated horror things that we talk about. But these 2 trailers that came out were just fantastic, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're great trailers. And actually, it's my answers that I'm going to give when it gets to me are going to be pretty broad, and it's kind of piggybacks on what you just said, which is just horror video games in general, and not just the one, not only the IPs specifically, the fact that we've gotten so many and that we got more announced. I think I'm all for it. I know a lot of people, there's people who comment that say like, oh, this is going to suck because of this, because of that. I don't care. Like, you
Right,
don't have to like it, but
right,
let's give it a chance. And I'd rather get it and it suck than not get anything ever.
And I also think in a world where, the mediums for things have changed, like entertainment in general is changing where we can get these IPs. And Hellraiser, in my opinion, is going to rock as a single player game. Completely makes sense. If you wanted to do multiplayer, Pinhead was in Dead by Daylight for the longest time. So the fact that we're getting a story driven game with this IP that seems like a continuation of the franchise we know, with Doug Bradley coming back to doing Pinhead's voice, Cenobites are there. Like, the fact that I feel like I'm getting a sequel to something that's so precious to the horror community. I don't understand how you can already come in with negative thoughts outside of being the internet because you're a bunch of schmucks. But
Yeah.
that's the internet. And that's with me also with Halloween, like recently when they talked about oh, we'll figure out how he got his mask. We'll figure out, how
Mhm.
he stole this vehicle or got in here. Are those things that needed to be said? Not necessarily in movie form, no, but in a video game landscape where I'm playing as Michael Myers, yeah, that would actually be an
Yeah.
awesome chapter to live and kind of create more mythos to this original film without taking away anything of that movie we know and love. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that stuff. But my honest to God number three that I'm going to go with is the variety of horror movies I was able to see this year in theater. Even from the get go of this year, starting with, I want to say for me, my first one of the year to theater would have been Hard Eyes. But going from such a beautiful homage to be a horror slasher and going through the year with something like Sinners that goes on to the what I'm going to call the controversial Weapons, leading to my favorite sequel, if not the very favorite one of the VHS series, a found footage, and going all the way to something that I supported, to Shelby Oaks, and something as awesome and like low budget as Together. I just feel like the year for horror has been a phenomenal year. As much as people can talk about, movies not making money at the box office, big hit films like Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four, Superman making some money at the box office, it seems like horror never lost its footing outside if your movie was called Mathregan 2.0,
Which was great.
which was great. No complaints with that movie. And it's not, that movie's going to end up being one of those cult hits where it finds its audience and they are going to back it harder than a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be at the front of the line.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, it's funny. We're going to be crossing over a lot on this because you're kind of in again the same realm of one of the things I was going to say, which is
Mm.
yeah the variety of horror that we've gotten this year and that we continue to get, whether it was horror comedies like Companion or
Oh, God, yeah.
uh, Oscar contenders like Sinners.
Hmm.
I
The
mean, we're
Monkey.
The Monkey. I mean, we've gotten so much stuff. You mentioned Hard Eyes, which was basically a horror version of a romantic comedy.
Hmm.
We've it's just the variety's been there, and whether you again, there's been hits, there's been misses, but we got Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Yeah, that's right. I'm bringing in the Poonaverse. Uh,
Hey, follow him on Instagram at Enter the Poonaverse.
we're gonna have to create it, this Instagram it. Um, yeah, it's just wild that we continue to get all this stuff, and
Hmm.
it's just great. It's I want content. As I get older, I just want all the content I can get while I'm still alive.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
just
Cram it
keep
in.
just keep cranking it out. It's fine. Whether I like it or not, I'll decide once we get it. But yeah, if you want to make it, then go ahead and do it.
Right. No, and you know what? There's a discussion to be had, and it's funny because we were talking topics. You just said something that I want to be a topic, so thank you for that. So what is your number three then?
I don't even know anymore because I've pretty much already discussed most of them. I'm going to change my number two. So I'm just going to say that was my number three,
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can
and
get
I'm going to
behind that.
combine the video games and the movie thing as my number three
Holy shit. Okay, I'll get into that. All right,
since since we've already discussed them.
I will move into number two for me, and then we'll get to you. My number two is Halloween Horror Nights got its groove back. That's right. Halloween Horror Nights went to an island vacation because it had to leave its man and found her old man, which was Mike Aiello, who came back and helped out with this year and really did deliver one of the better years that I've been to. And I haven't had the joy that I've had since 2019. And I'm talking fairly because I went to Halloween Horror Nights 30, which was the year after the COVID cancellation. So going to the event after being told there is no event for a year, there's a little extra that comes with it that makes it a good year. I wonder how I would feel about it if it was just straight up back to back. And I think I would have felt great about it. And I think all cylinders would have ran and budgets would have been fine and stuff like that. But after post COVID, budgets were held, and the past few years have felt a little like just steady as she goes, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And they still, even this year, you could tell there were some budgetary things. It's funny because they had two shows. They finally did two shows again this year. They always bring back Nightmare Fuel, but they brought the water show. The first year they did the water show was at 2019, and it was called Marathon of Mayhem. It was fucking awesome, Jim. I'm talking Ghostbusters, Universal Monsters, the projections on the walls, the music's blaring, the water's looking great, and then the show goes away, but they bring it back with Ghoulish. And when I saw this, I want to say it was 32 when they played it. Yeah. And Ghoulish was to play like, remember when you were a kid and Halloween was in the 90s and 80s? That's the feel of this. Like spooky cats, spooky witches. The music's like all kind of corny and shit. Did nothing for me. They announced it this year and it was Ghoulish again, but there was a little bit change. And shit you not, it's the same show except the last 5 minutes they had this techno song that saved the show. I need them to do the water show again, but call it Marathon of Mayhem and do it correctly. I appreciate you trying, but like for me, that's the criticism of the year. Outside of teeny boppers, which I can't control, and the wait times for the houses, I can't control it. Again, I'm getting an express pass. I ain't messing with this shit. But that all being said, Halloween Horror Nights came back in a big bad way. Next year, 2026, is their 35th anniversary. Rumored houses already being speculated, things like Hellraiser. And if something like that shows up to kind of go with the synergy of the game, and who knows what kind of announcement for movies we could be getting with Hellraiser, 2026 could be a big year for Hellraiser in my eyes.
Yeah, do you think with as often as you go and as many years as you've gone, do you ever feel like the shine or excitement has weared a little bit?
1000%. Like, the thing about this year that also rocked was I brought my kid on a second trip, a trip unplanned. Came to me and it worked out in my favor. And bringing him, because we always said, when he gets to a certain age, he'll be ready. And then we took him to haunts that, to dip his toes in, as we do the past couple of years. And he just knocked him out of the park. And it's like, I got to be honest, I think he can handle this. So when we had this trip planned and we went with him, we were able to go through 5 houses, one repeat, because it was busy as all get out. We couldn't do more. And the feeling I got with him being there was a completely different feeling I've never had outside of bringing Brooke for the first time. And I think that's something that I always love to bring new people, like at least experience it with new people. You know, like I've been with Jason and Kate, my friend Sean, Nick, wonderful. I met Chad and Michelle there. I've met Rob there. Like, you get new aspects. In the past few years, it's been pretty steady with the same folks that we've been going with and the experience itself. You're exactly right. But the feeling I got with him was brand new, back to how I felt in 2013 bringing Brooke. And now it dawned on me that, like, I'm eventually going to have real conversations with this kid about these houses. I'm scared that the shine will wear off on him. I'm scared that he's like, I don't want to go. But I think what keeps me great and motivated about it and why it's so wonderful exactly to this year is Terrifier was a house. You know me. I was not a Terrifier stan for the longest time. And then watching those movies for the first time to prep for this house and actually loving the franchise and then walking through the house and having a rip-roaring time, those are the moments that I pay attention now. Yeah, the overall skeleton is not going to get me excited unless if you have something brand new you have not brought to the game yet. But I still consistently go to this saying, I'm walking through a horror movie. There's no feeling like it. And as long as that's sticking around, great. Eventually, it might end up being like, okay, I'm going through the house, tie the belt around my neck, and you'll hear my safe word art. Maybe. You know what I mean?
They might be wheeling you through in your wheelchair.
Exactly. But all that being said, Halloween Horror Nights 2026, I'm amped for. How about your number 2?
All right, my number 2 has changed because of, you. So my number 2 is going to be a little bit more focused, and it's that I'm grateful that Dan Trachtenberg proved that he knows what he's doing, and that Prey was not a one-hit fluke.
Your lips to God's ears, to the Youch's ears, baby. No, you're right, because, like, I thought it was daunting for the fact of, like, having 2 Predator movies in one year. On top of that, one of them being a animation, what are those movies called? God damn it. Where it's like different stories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like Tales...
Anthology.
Anthology. That's what... 100% I was about to say Tales from the Hood.
That works too. It's an anthology.
Yeah.
Called in the theater.
Oh, wow. Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's a baller move. I would love to see that in theater.
I also saw Bones in the theater.
Oh, no way. Wow. You got to see a lot of gnarly 90s shit. I saw Primal Fear in theater and was questioning myself the entire time. So, like I was saying, like to have that animated anthology film tacked on with a never done before Predator style movie in the same year, that is balls, brother.
Yeah, and it's a big swing to try to, put a non-human character as your lead. I mean, obviously it's worked, I guess, for stuff like Avatar, but I mean, it's a little bit different.
Right.
Because this one doesn't even speak English.
Dude, I love that. I mean, we've talked about it a lot on our review, and I'm just... The fact that they never gave up that we're going to have to read those subtitles just made my heart so happy.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out really well.
Yeah.
And if people haven't gone yet, they need to. They got time.
I'm hoping so. I think when we record this is going to be a couple of days later when it releases. So, like, weekend 2 of the box office should be going. I've been keeping an eye on it. The Monday, I think it made $4 million domestically, and then Tuesday it made $5 million, which I love when you see that little tick
Hmm.
because it's already half price Tuesday for most people.
Right.
So the fact that it made more money than Monday shows you that a lot of people went. And, this weekend, outside of Keeper and
Running Man.
the Running Man, which I think is going to fucking fall on its face, I I feel Predator has at least a shot of making between 12 to 15 million this weekend. My hope is 18 to 20.
Yeah.
So I have
I mean, it definitely
realistic and I have
could.
once.
Because Keeper, the reviews aren't great on Keeper either, and also I don't feel like I don't feel like Osgood's, even with his successes, I don't feel like box office numbers are huge for his movies so far.
No, I think Keeper probably will make about 4 to 5,
Yeah,
and that's being generous.
yeah,
And I think Running Man's going to come out 10 to 15, honestly.
I could see it hitting 20, but I don't think it's gonna go much higher than that.
It's really interesting the world we live in of how many people look at Rotten Tomatoes. I think you scoff at me when I'm like, uh-oh, Tomatoes got it at fucking 60, it's got it at 50.
Yeah,
Because I'm not going to lie, there are times, it doesn't happen all the time. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's a rotten score, I'm not going to go on something that I know I want to see.
right.
But for a film like Keeper, for instance, I I would be apprehensive if, like, say the Rotten Tomato score ends up being 45. I don't know if it has one
I think
yet.
it's at like 60.
Okay, so like 60 would get me in, 55 would get me in. It's the movies that get, even Running Man actually is like hanging on to 60. But like when the movies are at the lower end, yeah, I'm not banking on a 40 percenter, honestly. But that being said, Keeper looks interesting and I want to see that. So what the hell were you talking about?
Predator. We were talking about Predator, but we're
Oh
done. We're,
yeah.
we're moving on.
Yeah, we
Go on to
gotta
your
move
next thing.
on. Move on. All right. My number one thing that I I honest to God would have never seen this coming. So I had to put my personal feeling in this. I've talked about the movies, I've talked about the games, I've talked about HHN. I am so thankful that in the year that this man got a star on the Walk of Fame, we were able to meet John Carpenter. Halloween being my favorite horror movie of all time, and never in my wildest dreams did I think I would meet him. Like, we met Nick Castle the same weekend, and I feel
Yeah.
bad that I have met Nick Castle and I can't sit here with that like as the top glory
Right.
because John Carpenter was there and getting a vinyl signed by him. And it's really great because I feel I'm glad we met him at that con. Like, oh, now thinking about that, if John Carpenter was at Nightmare Weekend this year, it would have been a slam dunk for me. Slam dunk. Because, I mean, just how I feel about the guy. Like, I know, say what you will, but you can't sit here and act like The Thing didn't fucking move you. You can't sit here and say Sutter Kane in the Mouth of Madness wasn't a rock solid movie. There is something of his work that I feel connects to people. And for me, and it's crazy to me because I don't think I ever seen it until, was it last year or 2023, Christine for the first time.
Hmm.
And and this is what rocked my world about that is I watched Christine after I saw Halloween Ends. And being able to connect like what David Gordon Green was trying to do
Yeah.
with the Corey character with the Christine, because I even think his name's Corey Cunningham.
Maybe.
Something. I think it's
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
But like it's just so he's great. John Carpenter was a stud. His Q&A was amazing. Meeting him was great because he actually paid me mine, which that was the thing I was
Right.
most afraid of. And he fucking rocked.
Yeah, I mean, besides the movies you mentioned, I mean, I love Assault on Precinct 13, Escape from New York. As a kid,
Mm-hmm.
I loved watching They Live and Big Trouble in Little China. Uh, so,
Let me just
uh,
throw one more in there. Just the one that is like, what are you talking about? I, as a kid, and we've done this on, maybe we'll talk about this on Core Memory Unlocked Horror. This will be a great, like, oh, I got a fucking thing. We're going to do directors that go outside of their medium. Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
right.
I watched that movie religiously on HBO.
Yeah, I remember watching it a bunch as a kid too. Yeah, and then the meet with him was great. He seemed like I don't know if maybe seemed like he wanted to be there, maybe a reach, but at least he did seem interactive when at the
Yes.
table. Like
Yeah.
he was friendly.
Right.
He didn't ignore you. He didn't just give you one word answers. His Q&A was fantastic.
Oh,
So just
God.
overall, he was somebody who, like you said, I never expected to meet, even going to all these cons. Like he's never been somebody that I'm thinking like, oh yeah, he might come, because we don't get a lot of directors.
And we
And
don't, well, we do get West Coasters, but he's West Coast and
yeah,
he's old age.
yeah,
Like,
and
what
he's just not.
happened? Sorry.
I was gonna say he's just not a name that I see pop up on these Comic Con lists often when I'm looking at them all over the place.
And I was going to say he was rescheduled from the previous
Right.
Nightmare weekend. So when that whole kerfuffle happened where he didn't show up, like, I was like, oh, that was it. Game over. But ultimately, I mean, man of his word. And like you said, he may not have been thrilled to come to the event because I'm sure work is work. But
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, when you're a fan talking to him, he understood the assignment because he
Yeah.
understands it. I think, who did I just see talk about this? Oh my God, Billy Bob Thornton. I saw him doing this interview where he was like, if I'm on the street and a lady comes up to me and talks to me and says, like, I love your movies, I love this, and, she wants to tell me about her kid going through dentistry school and stuff. And people are like, how can you sit there for like 30 minutes and let her just like talk your ear off? And he's like, she just paid for my house. She got me everything I have. So yeah, I kind of owe it to her because she's helped me out.
I mean, I understand that's great that he feels that way. I kind of disagree with that sentiment a little bit as far as
Ooh.
like in the public situation. I think there's a
Mm-hmm.
time and a place for that kind of stuff. I think if you approach somebody in public, don't do it in the bathroom. Don't do it when they're eating dinner with their family.
Right.
You
Oh,
know,
agreed.
and if they don't want to stop and have that conversation, don't get mad about it because it's not their responsibility when they're out just living their life.
Oh,
I mean,
what if
I had a
I would
chat
love to
with
have
Terry
this.
O'Quinn at the Puppy Bowl one time at a brewery, and he sat there and talked to me way longer than he probably needed to.
Right, right.
But he was super nice and super polite, and I thanked him for it. And I even said, "Look, man, I really appreciate it. You didn't have to do this, and it was great that you did." But I've
Right.
seen other actors that just don't want to be approached. I mean, I know, I think Scarlett Johansson has said that like she doesn't want to be approached because her time off is her time off.
What a discussion. And I think, honest to God, we need to write this down because this is something I would love to talk about. Because I agree when someone is, everybody's human, everybody has a day, everybody is going to have their feeling. You don't have to put on the mask every
Hmm.
single time. I completely get that.
Sure.
At the same point, if you are a person of that eye, a Scarlett Johansson, if you will, a Scarlett Johansson can have anything handed to them, i.e., security, i.e., go into a place by yourself. All those kind of things I understand. But then I also look on the other hand when I look at someone like Tom Cruise, who goes to a dinner at a restaurant. His people go in and say, Tom Cruise is eating dinner here tonight. Please do not bother him at dinner. Afterwards, if you want to line up, he will take a picture with all of you. And he does that. with everyone. That's because he knows who pays his fucking checks. And that's where I think a lot of artists and stuff like that kind of lose it. They lose that. And maybe it's more people that are just like, fucking, I'm not a box office draw, so I can say these things. But I do feel the people that understand that you and me are the ones that are going to this, and I completely agree. There is a time and place. Just like when I met Bo Dallas just a couple of weeks ago, I didn't follow him into a bathroom, but I sure as shit in a public atmosphere where I recognized him, told him how much I loved his house and his brother should be proud.
Right.
Like,
and that's fine.
Yeah. But I completely agree. Crazies and TMZers and stuff like that should not invade someone's private moments.
Mm-hmm. Well, we see it with wrestlers all the time where people stalk the airports and stalk the hotels. And I think it's also the eBay resellers and all that show up with like 15 things that they want to get signed.
Right.
And they ruin it for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's all I get. Number one, you got that left. You got to give me your number one.
So my number one, I'm going to go a little personal on number one too, and it's not going to really spark much of a conversation, but I'm going to say it anyway. Mm-hmm. My number one thing that I'm thankful for horror is that it has given me the opportunity to sit here with my friend and just bullshit and ramble on about absolutely nothing and entertain. If people find it entertaining along the way, that's fantastic. But I'm thankful for that.
You know what? 100% agree with that. And like, funny enough that this is the conversation, that statement is happening on what we're doing, is because I've absolutely had a blast of us doing this. And, it sucks because YouTube, it feels like you have to go for the algorithm. You have to go for this. Yeah. This exactly right here, this thing that's not this little project of podcast and whatever, this is sticking around whether I fucking care if it gets 2 views to fucking 1,400. I really don't care, because like, this is the stuff I want to talk about. Do I love movie news? Absolutely. Did I see that like Insidious just wrapped filming, and I'm like, wait a second, what happened to Threads? Didn't you have a different movie? That would be a nice news conversation me and Jim could have, but like it goes 5 minutes and then we have to move on. And you've seen it where we do these shows where it's like, I'm watching the clock being like, is that enough time? Did we have enough combo? And not feeling engaged. This entire fucking time we've been talking, totally engaged, and it's just BSing.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that's all you have to do.
It's fucking great. And like, I'm really excited talking about 2026. We got things that we're hopefully going to be able to go do. I'm excited for events like HHN or different haunts. I want to go to a trial like outside of Virginia to do a haunt. We'll see if that goes down, but this has been fun. This has been a blast, and I'm glad your number one's a personal one. I think it's the most not robotic thing you've ever done. And it's got caught on camera, motherfucker. Oh my God, that's great. That's so great. I mean, fucking, what a year. Actually, yeah, another honorable mention. Jim picking me up my own Angry Orchard Jason Voorhees that'll be going up, that'll have a sponsorship logo. Because Angry Orchard has to sponsor this. Do you think they'll do another year of it next year? Do you think Jason returns with them?
I mean, not as well. We don't have a movie, so we don't have anything else announced.
We're never getting a movie.
I'm still waiting for my TV show trailer.
Well, they just wrapped filming that, so I imagine.
Yeah, but it's not really like the kind that needs a lot of like CGI post-op. I mean, they could throw something together by now.
No. Oh, okay, yeah, a trailer for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think who's running it? Peacock. I think Peacock's the one airing it, which is so wild. Like Peacock, not Warner Brothers, HBO Max, not Paramount Plus, both which were the owners of this goddamn franchise. Universal, who owns. So, do you think because it's on Peacock, there's a little leeway that we could get a Crystal Lake house at HHN?
I mean, why not? They just did the Jason Universe house, so you might as well do the Crystal Lake house, throw it in there.
Oh man, that would be fucking baller. Okay, so I say it's usually about a year from filming of when they show it. Do you think this is going to be a Halloween show, like September?
I still think it should be a summer show because that's kind of
The
fits the
camp?
theme of the camp.
Then I say, I mean, it's weird saying it this way. I think we're only a couple of months away from that trailer. I think February 13th will be the day they drop that trailer.
Because with streaming, I mean, all year long is TV time. Back, 20 years ago, the summer was a dead time because that nobody
Yeah.
wanted to air anything because they were like, oh, everyone's out vacationing and everyone's out doing this. But now people actually watch TV during the summer, so it's like an all year thing.
No, you're absolutely right. It does feel like there's actual waves of TV now. And I shouldn't be surprised from growing up. Like it's just we've gone from shows being 22 episodes that took
Yeah.
mini breaks, and like now it's 8 to 10 episodes instead of these
Well, growing up,
things.
we never got new episodes of anything during the summer. It was always reruns.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think the
yeah.
first show that I remember of having a summer season was 90210.
Oh wow. Well, Say by the Bell. Say by the Bell had the summer at the Palisades. I
Okay.
remember that. But I mean, could you imagine if this goddamn TV streaming industry is brought on the backbone of Say by the Bell, the Palisades? could you could you imagine? Could you imagine the blueprint of how television is run right now is when Zach Morris was being a waiter at a bar while what's her name? The lady who was a Scientologist that hates Tom Cruise, Leah Rinna.
Oh yeah. You could have gotten Saved by the Bell, the college years on HBO Max.
Ah, God, I own it on DVD. That's right. That's right. That's how I roll. Well,
Brought to you by the people that gave you Euphoria.
from the producer of The Idol. Come, say by. Holy shit! Can I get that guy to do Say by the Bell? Like from the guy that brought you Euphoria, and it just begins with fucking like Kelly Kapowski getting plowed by Slater and Zach.
I mean, I'd watch it.
While Screech is in the corner screeching. Oh my God.
God, we already got the Screech tape.
Oh, good call. All right, P. King. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This was the Death Curse Club podcast. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Apple, Amazon, Spotify, all that. Comment, what are you thankful for? What are you thankful for in this 2025 year of horror in movies, games, comics, whatever it is? Let us know. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on the podcast. Bye.